Lord have mercy. The white folk are going to be losing their collective mind soon. The unavoidable, the thing that we said you couldn't legislate your way out of, you couldn't by banning abortion, that you couldn't do by forcing kids to have kids. The one thing we told you was unavoidable has finally happened.
Well, the one thing that they were afraid of happening has happened, you guys, for the first time in United States history. Minority births outnumber white births. It has happened. It's finally happened. This is why they were going so hard in trying to overturn Roe versus Wade. This is why they're going so hard with taking away the rights and autonomy from female bodies, because they knew and anticipated and were able to foresee, because of data and all the stats and stuff like that, that this was going to happen. And it has happened. A 2026, very recent, we are only 2 months in, study from Zucker School of Medicine found that minority births, meaning Hispanic, Black, Asian, etc., now constitute the majority of U.S. births for the first time at 50.4%, while non-Hispanic white births dropped to 49.6%. So this part's super interesting. So the demographic shift is driven by higher birth rates among minority women, especially Hispanic women, and a relatively older, lower fertility white population. Not the subtle shade saying that your sperm don't work. So one of the researchers, Dr. Amos Grunebaum, I think that's how you say his name. He's calling it a historic milestone. The study revealed that white births are officially under 50% at 49.6%, while all other groups taken together, Hispanic, Black, and Asian, make up the 50.4%. What are your thoughts? Do you think this has to do with a lot of white women being extremely vocal about not using their bodies and not having children as a means of protest? Or was it just a natural progression of things because America is a melting pot and minority women we were going to get to this point? Or do you think it's a little bit of both? I want to know your thoughts. This is super interesting and I love it. I love it. This is why they mad, y'all.
I think it's both. I think it was an inevitable outcome because the world is becoming browner. It's not just the United States. The Republicans, the white Christian Republicans, are holding on to it in the United States for dear life. But the world is becoming browner. We are a mixed species. And the United States is going to become browner over time. We are going to become, the white people in this country are going to become the minority at some point in time. And who knows how far down the line we will be a very, very small minority. Not in my lifetime, not in my children's lifetime, probably not in my grandchildren's lifetime, but it's coming. And this is why they went after things like Roe v. Wade. The Republicans want to force women to crank out white babies so that they can keep pace. But they can't keep pace. That's not a thing. And as far as white women using their bodies as protests and not procreating with their partners, their husbands, I don't know. Maybe. I know this. I know a lot more younger people don't want to have kids because of how fucked up the world is, because of how fucked up the country is. I know more and more younger people that are like, yeah, I don't want to bring a kid into this world. It's too expensive. It's too dangerous. I don't want to do it. And I don't blame them. You know, we chose the route of having kids. I have a stepsister who chose the route of not having any kids. Both routes are fine. And if somebody came to me and said, you know, if we were having a conversation and somebody said, man, this country is just so fucked up, I can't bring a baby, a life into this world, I would understand completely. Understand completely. And if my wife and I were just starting out, if Renee and I were just starting out now, if 2026 was the first year of our life together, not the 29th year of our life together, I think we would stop and think. Not because we don't love our kids. We do love our kids. The financial aspect of it has severely changed from when we had kids. The safety aspect of it has severely changed when we had kids. We would stop and think about it. We really would. So this is what they feared. And when I say they, I mean white Christian Republican men. This is what they feared. And this is also what they couldn't stop from happening. So all of those abortion laws and all of that shit, it's all for naught, guys. You didn't get the end result that you were looking to get. We're not the minority in this country yet, but we're going to be. And if I could put a little PS, a little postscript on this video. If you're white in the United States of America and you're afraid about becoming a minority in this country, then you need to ask yourself, why is that? Or why do you fear being a minority? What have you done to minorities, or thought about minorities, or acted towards minorities, or felt towards minorities that you fear being a minority now?